Magician Harri!
What's up YouTube, Matt here. As you can see from hands, we are with deck profiles again today. I brought these back because Healthy is starting to pick back up again, so I want to try and get one out every week. I think this is a good start, because I have got both D and Premium and V to cover. I've got a variety of decks. Some will have proxies, some won't have proxies. This I'll explain as I go along which ones do, which ones don't. But we are now back again, and where better else to start than the cover boy himself, ta-da! Harri. This is currently a V Premium Harri list. This does have one proxy in the form of Cutie Paratrooper due to not being out in English till the end of the month. But I have been testing it now for the past 2 months since her announcement, and she's been a lot of fun to the deck, so I thought I'd share it. So Harri as a V Premium deck is all about turning your Axel markers into a stage, and you're then utilising that stage to combo off with Pop and the Starry Pop Dragon and Lord Pigeon Pop, which then also combo off with your rear guards being Magia Dolls to gain power onto the Starry Pop Dragon. So I'm going to start off with the Grade Zeros. Obviously, our starter. Entertain Messages, our current starter, due to not owning a copy of Happiness Collector. Otherwise, I'd be very much using Happiness Collector to fit with the theme. Then Heals, we are running 4 Heal Guardians currently. Now this may or may not change yet. I do want to test it out because Hope on Damp and Maelstrom obviously got a bit more play in the JPC, and those are needing 1 card guard or 20k instruments, which these being 15 don't help that much. So I might do a 2-2 split, but for now I am sticking with 4 copies of the Heal Guardian. Next up on the list is obviously PGs. We run 4 draw PGs because draw PG is best PG. Because we are a combo reliant deck. I then run 2 additional draws on top because we do want to see our pieces. We then do run, to finish up the slots, 6 critical triggers because we do want to still have pressure from our other rear guards that are not the Starry Pop Dragon. So having a crit go onto them is very nice. Next up is the grade 1s. First grade 1 we have is 4 copies of Masquerade Bunny. Now this is very detrimental to the deck because we do only run 4 copies of the grade 3 because we don't have a good backup grade 3 for Harri as such. So this is very good for searching top 5, try and dig for the Harri, and her plus 5k skill requires you to call a card from Soul, which you do continuously due to Harri. So all in all, very solid booster. Then we have our Magia Dolls. So we're going to start off with the old ones first, which is going to be 3 copies of Darkside Mirror Master. This is our counter charge engine, so very solid for the deck. We then have 3 copies of the Flying Parrotin, who is our draw power for the deck. Both of these work with skill on the base of when this card is called from Soul by your Harri Vanguard, you can either counter charge 1 for Mirror Master or draw 1 for the Flying Parrotin. So this replaces the draw you discard for Harri skill. This replaces the counter charge for the counter blast you use for Harri skill. Both really solid cards. Then the final grade 1 we run is our new grade 1 in Magia Doll Cutie Paratrooper, which we run 4 copies of. Now Cutie Paratrooper's got the skill of Macro Rearguard Circle. When your Harri Vanguard is attacked, you can put this card into your soul, choose any number of your Magia Doll rearguards, and then put them onto the Guardian Circle. So obviously this gets around all the guard restricts because you're moving, not placing, which is really good. But you've also got the fact of the Magia Dolls themselves have got the skill of when they're retired from the Guardian Circle, they go to Soul. So you're literally creating Magia as such with the deck because you call them out to deck from the Soul from Harri to Rearguard Circle. Cutie Paratrooper then moves them from Rearguard Circle to Guardian Circle, and then their own skills move them from Guardian Circle back to Soul. So creates Magia from the G series into V, which is really nice for the deck. Obviously, this here creates 10, 20, and the 2 grade 2s, 30k maximum shield, which is really solid for the deck. Talking of grade 2s, we do run 4 copies of our search engine, our next part of the search engine, which is Card Dealer Jacqueline. Jacqueline's got the skill of, when she's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, you can count blast 1, check top 7 for a Magia Doll or Law Pigeon Pop, add them to your hand. You add 2 of them. Up to 2, sorry. If you add 2, you can then choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul. So obviously this is really good because Law Pigeon Pop is our other key piece that we need for the combos. So being able to search them and being able to search the Magia Dolls, which is the heart and soul of the deck, really good. And also then being able to put the Magia Dolls into the soul where you want them on top, even better. Next up is obviously the aforementioned card. 4 copies of a Law Pigeon Pop. Now Law Pigeon Pop's got 2 skills. First one is when he's placed on the rearguard circle, you can put 1 card with Magia Doll and its card name from your drop zone into your soul. This is really good against the retired decks that are going to retire likes of QT Paratrooper and your other rearguards during their main phase before you can guard intercept with them or move them with QT Paratrooper still to guard your circle. So obviously you can move them from drop back to soul to then call them back out again. Or in certain circumstances where you've discarded one for Harry's skill, you can then move it back into soul. Try and keep that soul refreshed, give you multiple options. Second skill, however, is what makes him actually shine, which is Rearguard Circle. End of the battle, this attacked. If this unit is on the stage, which I will explain more about the stage once we get to Harry, you can count blast 1, return this card back to your hand, then search your deck, drop, or soul for a Starry Pop Dragon and call it to the Rearguard Circle. Obviously, if you shuffle, call it to the stage. Obviously, if you search it, you shuffle your deck, but that's pretty much a given. It's a really solid card for the deck and very much an important piece. Then to finish up our grade 2s, we've got our Magia Dolls, which is 2 copies of Prana and 3 copies of Prana and 2 copies of Lunatic. Now Prana's got the same skill as these ones with the Guardian Circle to Soul, but it's also got her own skill of when she's called by a Harri Vanguard to the Rearguard Circle, both your Vanguard and herself gain power plus 10,000. So it creates more power columns, really nice, give you that extra little bit of push in the deck. The reason I'm only running 2 of the Lunatic Dragons though is because he's very matchup reliant in the fact of when he's placed in soul from a Harri Vanguard skill, you choose one of your opponent's rear guards and put it into their soul. Obviously, not all matchups are going to require this card, so he is not such an important piece. If you want to run 3, you could run 3 by dropping down 1 copy of Card Dealer Jacqueline. But personally, I feel that 2 is the right sort of spot for him at the moment. Then, next up we have our grade 3s, which is the big boy himself, Master Magician Harri. Now Harri's got 2 skills. First one is when he's placed, you choose one of your additional rearguard circles and you turn it into a stage. So obviously, once your axle circle you've chosen becomes a stage, all of your axle circles then squish together and they all stack on top of that. So, say for example, you've got a stack of 3 axle circles, unit on it gains power plus 15,000. So it creates 1 power column, which is really nice. Then, second skill is Count Blast 1 and discard a card. You then choose Magia Dolls from your soul and call to Rearguard Circle. If your opponent is a grade 2 or below Vanguard, you call 2 out. Or if your opponent is a grade 3 or above Vanguard, you would then call 4 out. So obviously he does scale, he's one of the scaling grade 3s, which is based on what your opponent's at the moment. So going first, you'll only ever call 2. Going second, if your opponent's hit grade 3 already, you'll call 4. So it creates more of a board to combo off with the last card, which is Starry Pop Dragon. Now Starry Pop Dragon's got 3 skills. First one is he gains 5,000 for each of your rearguards with the Magia Doll in their different card names. So with us having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Magia Dolls, he can gain a maximum of 25,000 from that, which is really big numbers. But obviously it does specify different names, so if you've got two cutie paratroopers, for example, that won't actually work. Second skill is when he's placed on the stage, he creates another marker for the stage. This doesn't have to be through Lord Pigeon Pop skill. If, for example, you rode a dragon for whatever it's worth, and then call a dragon to the Axel stage, he'll then create another marker. So really good. But the main reason he is so good is his third skill. Is when he attacks, if his unit's power is 40,000 or greater, until the end of the battle he gets +1 critical, and your opponent can call sentinels, or his or her hand, to the Guardian Circle. So really good from that part alone, because obviously you're stopping the draw PGs, the crit PGs, imaginary gift protects, really solid base. But no matter what, at the end of the battle, he does retire himself. The last part of the retiring himself is not tied to whether you hit the 40,000 or not. So you do have to remember that part. No matter what, after his battle, he will be retiring himself. Which is good, because it then gets him into the drop, for you to then utilise with falling back out with Lord Pigeon Pop again. Alright, next thing up I'm going to cover is the all-important question that I get asked quite often. Here we go. XL1 or XL2? Now, from what I've done from my testing, I've found that I've always wanted to go for XL2 because we are a tempo-based deck. Like, we can aggro early if need to, but most of the time we want to take it at our own pace, push for the win con, grab over time, because normally we're aiming to stack 1 to 2 markers a turn. So stacking these up over time, you get your draws off your XL2s to keep the pace going, and because we're now at 5 Magia Dolls, it does make it easy to hit the 40k by literally having 3 XL2s along with the 5 Magia Doll rearguards. Certain matches when you're wanting to rush, be aggro and all that, you can go for force ones, because obviously 2 of these on turn 1 gets you 20k plus 4 Magia Dolls, 40k. You do hit that threshold for Diary Pop that point, but it's all very much going to rely on how good your hand is, how good the setup is, what the situation with your opponent is. The more time often than not, you will end up going for the XL2s. So what I've done here is I've generated a rough soul, damage and hand based on what you're more than likely going to have done, because obviously turn 2, if you rode Jacqueline, we've obviously got our grade 1 ride, a grade 2 ride, and some soul we've generated. And obviously the pop we could have got off of Jacqueline. And it's now our turn, so obviously we draw for turn. We can ride up into Master Magician Harri, who will give us our XL2. And we draw a card. We can then go, okay, we don't need the dragon in hand, so we can discard it for Harri's skill and count last 1. We then call out the 4 Magia Dolls, which will be the 1, 2, 3, 4 we've got in soul. Obviously we've gone second, hence that's why we can call for. Got the hand there for a second, so it's on the screen. Obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. And Harri's skill gives them all 5Ks. So obviously, that's what our situation is looking like now. We can then obviously call Prana down here to make the extra... Oh no, before we resolve Prana, sorry, we have to resolve our rearguards here. So obviously we draw again off of the Periton. We then counter charge off of the Magia Doll, Dark Side Mirror Master. And then Lunatic will obviously eat a rearguard, which for this example won't make a difference to me showing you that. That's a 5. Then we can obviously cool down Prana, so we then got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideal Magia Dolls. And then obviously cool down Pop. So then obviously Battle Phase happens. We're swinging in with Pop. We'll then Counterblast 1, put himself back into our hand. Then grab Starry Pop from deck, drop, or soul. Obviously, for this example, I'm just going to do drop because it's already there. But obviously, when he's placed there, he then makes another stage to then draw another card. Then obviously his power then increases because we have got 5 rear guards. He gains an extra 25k. Unfortunately, I do. Oh no, I've got a second marker there. Good. 25. I would very much recommend getting more than 6 of the 5, 10, 15, 20s for this deck because you do go through them very fast. Then obviously, because we've now hit that marker, we can go. Pop's gained his crit. And he's got his Sentinel restriction. This is your ideal setup for the game. So from there, you would then obviously swing Vanguard next. This being our hand. First check, obviously, no trigger. Second check, crit. You can pop that all on the dragon. Dragon swinging 50k, 3 crits. Job done. Overall, it's a really fun deck to play. It does require thought behind it because you need to plan when to guard, when to use QT Paratrooper. You get the feel of Pale Moon in the deck because it is comboing in and out of the soul to get multi-attacks off. Really fun deck, and honestly, fairly budget. The only expensive card I've found so much from building the deck was Harri and the G-Guards. Everything else is very budget because these are all commons and rares. You've had Masquerade Bunny, which got an army of reprints. Jacqueline herself is not expensive as a whole. Really fun deck. But that is going to be it for this video. If you haven't done so already, please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are of the deck as a whole. If you've got any questions about the deck, I'll try and respond to them as quick as I can. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye!